We're in the depths of a really cold winter right now. With temperatures plunging below zero in the mountains most nights and highs rarely topping 20 degrees Fahrenheit, I wanted to see what my fishy friends were up to. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So I have almost zero confidence in catching a fish today, but I had to get out and try because we've had probably one of the worst winters that I can remember here in the state of West Virginia, and it was negative 11 degrees when I woke up this morning, but the high today is actually close to 30, and it's actually 26, 27 degrees right now. It's probably noon. So it's actually relatively warm in comparison to like the last few weeks or something here. But as I was driving up here, a lot of this creek is totally frozen, kind of like in my Erie Steelhead videos. A lot of this creek is frozen, which I've never seen before, to be honest with you, ever. As long as I fished, I haven't really seen much of this frozen. So I'm gonna give it a shot. If it doesn't work, this may be a quick video, but I'm just gonna explore a lot of this. And if nothing else, you're gonna see what some very good Appalachian streams look like in the debt of one of the coldest winters that I can remember. So stay tuned. I'm gonna get geared up and see what we can do. So this is a brookie stream, a very good brookie stream. It's totally frozen over, but you can see that there's water flowing underneath it. I'm wondering how safe this is to walk on. I know it's not very deep right here, but there's water over top of the ice. Interesting, that's cool. You don't see this stuff very often here in the Appalachians, at least not in my experience. Interesting. All right guys, so as you can see, there's a deer right here. It's just a fawn, there's a doe with her. But those poor deer right now, they're dealing with negative degree, like below zero temperatures every night. But anyways, I'm gonna cut in here somewhere and try to get into where I can find some fish. I might follow one of these deer trails, but I think I'm gonna do it right up here. Oh gosh, jeez Louise. I thought the ice was gonna break and it didn't. All right guys, so I followed this creek down and this little spring, and I came down to the main stem, and it actually looks like there's water in it. So maybe I do have a chance of catching fish today. Or not that it looks like there's water in it, but it looks like there's moving water and it's not completely iced up. Of course, now I got a knot in my line, which is about typical. Good thing about this creek is, part of the reason I like it so much is it does have so many fish in it. So usually, even in the worst conditions, you can find something. So we'll move up through here and see what we can find. Whoa! But before we get too far into this video, I'd like to say this video is sponsored by Trout Routes. Trout Routes is the most comprehensive mapping app for trout anglers with over 50,000 trout streams, 350,000 access points, public land maps, and more. Basically, it's an app that deserves a spot in every angler's toolkit. When I first started using Trout Routes a little over a year ago, I had no idea how much I'd actually like it. I even used it in my home state to download maps so I can find my way around in areas with little to no service. Not only that, but it's by far my most useful tool when I go fish new states and want to find some watered fish. You can get 20% off your first year of Trout Routes using the code Hardman24. Visit troutroutes.com to learn more and download the Trout Routes app for free in the App Store today. Now let's see if I can find some water without ice on it. Biggest danger here is falling on this ice. My gosh, look at this. You could ice skate on this crap. This is wild. All right guys, so this right here is one of the holes that I expected I might be able to catch a fish in. Unfortunately, the spot the fish are likely to be in is kind of back in here, but I can't even pretend to fish that. It's frozen solid. There is a piece up here that is at least partially thawed up near the head. So I guess I'll try to drift my nymph back in there and just see what's going on. It's worth a shot. I think catching any fish in here would be a miracle. The other thing is like, what I really should do is drift underneath the ice. which is a cute idea, but a hard idea to execute. I'm just gonna keep casting this. Hope something crazy happens. I may have to switch creeks entirely. I don't know where I would go, but this is gonna be difficult in the best case scenario and impossible in the worst. All right, let's keep moving here. I'm not saying I couldn't catch a fish there, but I'm just gonna fish a little bit of water here. See if I find something interesting and then move on from there. Hopefully do it without completely falling on something. I mean, look how thick this ice is. That's several inches of ice at the edge of this. This ain't no joke. I could literally walk across the ice here without any issue. I mean, guys, look at this. The ice is so thick that like you can stand on it without it breaking. You can see how water is flowing over the ice and then frozen every night. We created these like little waterfall type structures that go up through here. This is some of the coolest looking stuff I've ever seen. If only I could catch fish out of it. I think that's gonna be a really tall ask. There's like little streams running on top of the ice. I'm assuming that's because it's a little bit warmer today, so the water is able to find a way up out of the ice because there's a little bit higher flows. It is worth mentioning you should be really cautious in this type of environment, because like this right now, I have studs on my boots. It's the only reason I'm even able to walk on some of this ice. So you don't want to fall and hurt yourself in these conditions. It's just not an ideal situation. All right, guys, this is another good pocket, good hole for brookies. As you can see, I can't even cast into it. There's one little half open pocket. There's like a cool like ice tunnel right here where the water comes through, and honestly this is just not working. This may be a dumb idea, but I'm actually gonna come out of this creek and go to a smaller stream in hopes that maybe it's a little bit more spring fed, or just that where there is open water, there's just maybe a little bit less food or a little bit less places for the fish to hide, so that like I know that the fish are gonna be willing to come out and check out my fly. I don't know, it's worth a shot. Also, there's deer tracks that come off this hill and it stepped on this ice and about ate it, or maybe it did eat it, I don't know. It definitely slid. I'm not gonna say anything though because I might fall too. Whoa, okay. All right, let's get out of here. All right, guys, I'm heading back down the hill. I came up to this creek and it looks like it has quite a bit of open water, which probably means it's pretty highly spring fed, which I kind of figured I'd find this somewhere today. Now the question is, will I be able to catch fish in here? I don't know, but at least I feel like I've had my best chance here, as I have all day, because at least there's open water. It's a smaller creek, so I feel like with this smaller creek, I might actually be able to find a fish or two, so we'll see. This hole here, I've caught some good fish at and good weather conditions. It's not a huge hole. There's usually at least a fish in it. Of course, I have got a knot here that is gonna apparently cause me some major issues. All right, let's try to catch a fish, eh? With any luck, a fish will come out of here. As I said, it's produced well in the past, so hopefully there's just one semi-active fish in this hole. Just wanted to come out and eat one of these nymphs. don't think I've ever caught nothing in this hole, so that shows you how bad the weather is. I might keep fishing up just for a second and just see if I can't find a fish or two, at least spook a fish. So I kept moving up that creek for probably 30 minutes before I totally lost hope in it as well. The issue with this time of the year is that when the water is hovering around 32 degrees, the fish sometimes go into an almost dormant state where they sit at the bottom of the slower moving pools. And since the ice was covering most of the slower moving water, that made catching fish seem impossible. I decided I still had one trick up my sleeve though, because I didn't want to go home completely empty-handed. Alright guys, I give up, man. There's too much ice. There's small stretches of this that didn't have ice in it, but not seeing any fish, so I'm hiking out, which is very difficult in the snow. I'm gonna try to fish one other spot that I saw that I think is relatively unfrozen. If that doesn't work, I'm out. No fish today. At least I gave it the old college try. I fished this last spot of the day for probably 15 minutes with nothing to show for it, when I finally came to a good looking hole that actually didn't have any ice. OMG. And of course the first thing I did was I threw my flies directly into the tree. Alright, well. Just straight up blows, dude. I decided to just tie on a jig streamer because I was too lazy to tie back on an actual Euro rig. Plus my confidence was near zero at this point, so I didn't really care what I was using. Got him, brown trout. Oh my gosh, fish actually ate. On a little streamer. Come on, dude. Don't pop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Heck yeah, dude, that's crazy. You almost don't believe it. Yeah, brown trout. I persevered in the winter. Unreal. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I just threw on this tiny little jig streamer. And I came up to this hole. This was literally the last hole I was gonna fish. Not even lying. The last single hole I was gonna try. And I caught a itty bitty, shouldn't say itty bitty, it's actually a decent brown trout for this little stream. On a freaking streamer, man. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. I'd given up on this day. I thought for sure this was gonna be a day of getting skunked here in the middle of the winter here in the Appalachians, just because of how brutal the winter's been. Hit some spots that I know have a bunch of fish in them, couldn't catch anything. And then finally, literally in the last hole of the day, I was about to leave. It's almost 4 o'clock, and the fishing's not gonna get any better than it should have been already. Usually in the winter, the heat of the day is usually your best time to catch them, and I wasn't. So I went to this one last spot here, just because I looked like I could see some open water, and I threw in a tree, immediately got stuck. But then I put on a little jig streamer because I knew I've caught some brown trout in this hole before. So I threw on a little jig streamer and immediately was able to pull out, you know, a pretty decent brown trout, all things considered. So if you guys like this video, leave a comment, let me know. Check out hardmanfishing.com for merch. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.